going to start the slideshow. It's really short. It's a beautiful day. Who's dying to go outside and start shooting? Yeah, if you had the lights on the other side, everybody had their hand up. That was great. That was great. The workshop format is really my forte. I really enjoy it. Besides my professional work, it's really a large part of my career right now. Small flash photography, traveling. I just got back from a 4-day trip to Wisconsin. This is my 5th workshop in 5 days. So I'm looking forward to going home tonight and maybe sleeping in a little bit tomorrow. That would be really cool. All right then, let's get busy with the slideshow. We're going to thank everybody at B&H Event Space for providing this for us. Right? This is a great forum. It's a great thing to be involved with. You can see a lot of top photographers, get to ask questions, see some great photography, and all on B&H, and it's a wonderful spot. Okay, so thank you to B&H and everybody here. Okay, this is me. This is my part that I call shameless self-promotion, okay? This is where I am located on the web. There's a couple of slides here. We'll do some photo slides, and then we'll pack it in, do a Q&A, and we'll go outside and shoot. I'm going to ask you to hold all your questions to the end, just like Debbie had said. Keep everything to the end. All right. Robert Harrington Studios, that's my website. Robert Harrington Studios at WordPress.com is my blog. I try to update it as often as I can. I don't do it all the time. I'm really pretty busy at the moment, so if you sign on to it, you'll get the blog post, but I'm really pretty busy. My Twitter account's Bob Harrington 2. My Facebook is Robert Harrington. And I want to talk about this website at the very bottom for 1 second. It's called Rock the Shot. I'm a huge believer in sharing everything. I'll tell you everything that I know. I'll share everything with you. There's nothing that I can't tell you or anybody else can't tell you that you can't find on YouTube, right? You can find everything on YouTube. But Rock the Shot's a great website, and I work for them running their off-camera flash forum-based workshop. This is a website geared to women in photography. If you're a female photographer, this website is geared for you. How to start a business, how to maintain your business, how to do accounting, how the government views your business, Lightroom, presets, actions. Top photographers come in and will blog post on topics for you. Okay, it's a great website. I love them. I work for them, and the owner, her name is Carl, and she's wonderful. Okay, let's move along. All right, so my books are out. My first book, Photographic Lighting, is available on Amazon or BarnesandNoble.com. I don't know if B&H carries it, but they should. Okay, my second book I self-published on Blurb. Anybody hear of Blurb.com? B-L-U-R-B? Yeah, great site. Really a cool site. You can do a lot of great creative books on that, self-publishing. It's called One Speed Light, 16 Looks. With a speed light, a small Rogue Flashbender, a convertible umbrella, and 3 different reflectors. I give you 16 different lighting looks. And it's really creative, and I'm trying to push that to 20 at the moment, but I just can't seem to get 4 more looks out of here. I just can't seem to get it yet. I started writing for Shutterbug magazine this year, so look for articles coming up. I have 2 in the queue right now, and I'll be getting more assignments in June. And that's really a great magazine. So yeah, who said that? Yeah, it's a great magazine, isn't it? I really liked it. I'm glad that they brought me on. Okay, this event is brought to you by Expo Imaging and Rogue Photographic Design, makers of the large Rogue Flashbender, which we have over here, that big white panel, which we'll be using today. I want to thank Temba. I'm a Temba visual artist as well. That just came about with the help of B&H Photo, which I'm very appreciative and thankful for. This event is also brought to you by Westcott. FJ Westcott supplied their new Rapid Box. Okay, that's a beauty dish / soft box that we'll be using today. Really a great piece of gear. Folds down like an umbrella. Okay, has a central disc just like a beauty dish, and the light out of it's fantastic. And California Sunbounce. So we have 3 different lighting looks today. We have the Rogue product, the Westcott product, and we'll be using just a reflector. So 2 flashes and a reflector. So this whole unit is sponsored by these 3 companies. Okay. Our gear for today, everybody's asking about gear, right? Who wants to know about gear? Raise your hand. Yeah, that's cool. All right, good. Yeah, that's good. So this is the gear I carry with me all the time, the gear that's always with me. My light stands are Manfrotto 1052 BACs. They're called quick stackers. They fold flat. They fold flat and they stack one atop another. So I came down today with a small travel bag and 4 light stands. stacked together, clicked together, where I probably would have put one prior to owning them. They're great light stands, and they're available here. I use a Lumo Pro LP633 umbrella bracket. That's the bracket that attaches the light stand to the speed light, goes in between. All right, they have Photix here, Photec, they have a couple different brands here. I've not seen Lumo Pro, but you know what? They're just about all the same. Buy a good one though. Buy one that's metal and will last you a long time. A couple of these are 7 years old, and they just work, and I beat on them, and because I use my gear hard and a lot. I'm using Pocket Wizard Plus 2s and 3s with the Hill Designs. The 2s and 3s, the older 2s and the 3s are great. They're basic radio triggers, and it's like a walkie-talkie, right? Camera says flash fire, flash says okay, time to fire. All right. There are a lot of other brands out. Small flash photography has really taken a quantum leap forward in the past couple of years. Right? There's a ton of gear out there for you to look at, triggers. Something new is coming out every day, and it's really a great, it's a great way to modify your light instead of having to purchase a larger light source. You can stick a Nikon SB800 in your back pocket, but you can't put that beautiful Elechrome in your studio in your back pocket, can you? That doesn't go with you. That requires cases and assistance and stuff like that. And speed lighting is very quick and easy. My batteries, my AA batteries are Ansman. I use Ansman 2850 milliamp. They're the best AA's I've ever used. They have no memory, so you can charge all of your batteries on a Monday morning, and like me, wake up Tuesday morning and forget that you did it, and then recharge them again, and it won't injure the cell. Okay, and they'll be ready for you to work. And they hold their charge pretty well for about 2 weeks before you have to charge them again. They're outstanding batteries. And I get them from thomasdistributing.com. All right, gear continued. So our gear for today will be the Rogue Flashbender XL Pro, which is their brand new unit to the market this year. It's a large unit. It's over here. It's probably 13 by 19, I think. You can do a lot with it. You can really do a lot with it. And the really great part about it is there's no more buying pieces. Once you purchase the kit, you get the Flashbender. You get a silver and black panel that can go inside of it. Silver adds about 2/3 of a stop to exposure and a touch of contrast. Black subtracts almost 3 stops of light. So you can put this in behind the speed light and subtract a ton of light just to get a little bit of light coming out. You get the full-size diffusion panel, which turns it into a large softbox, okay, which is really great for you get soft light coming out all over the place. And you get the thing that really makes it one of the best modifiers on the market. You get this small panel, and this small panel turns it into a strip softbox. And that strip softbox makes it so you can really control your light and really control an edge light, a key light. You can move it around for rim light. It's really a great addition to the unit. Next thing is the California Sunbounce Micro Mini. That's a small reflector. It's 20 by 30. Comes apart, folds down really small, and comes in a nice case, so it fits in your bag beautifully. California Sunbounce sent me out their new Micro Mini with the white on one side and the zebra fabric on the other, which is gold and silver together. Okay. We're going to use that today individually. So we're going to have 2 speed light stations and just a station with the reflector to get creative. See what we can do really creatively with just a reflector. In the Westcott Rapid Box. The Rapid Box is that soft box over there. It's a 26-inch Octa box. It's really a great piece. We will be able to, we'll talk about it when we go outside. We'll take it apart. We'll take a look at all the pieces. As a matter of fact, maybe I'll do that right now. It's a really nice unit. You pull the cover off. Everybody can see that okay? There's a central disc inside, so this is a beauty dish, okay? Or you put the cover on, you have a diffused beauty dish. I use it like this. I really, really, really like the light out of it like this. And I keep the central disc in. If you purchase one of these, buy the disc. You have to buy it separately, but it's only a few bucks. Get it, you'll be very happy. Comes with all the assembly brackets. All you do is put it on a light stand, put your speed light on it, and go to work. Excuse me. Okay, let's get to some photos, I think. Oh, no, basic settings first. Who wants basic settings? A lot of hands went up that time. Okay, everybody asked me this question, and I'm going to give you some basic settings. These are not the settings for every time. This is a jump-off point. This is where you start. If you take your initial photograph and these don't work, don't call me. Okay, I don't want an email that says your settings didn't work. What I want is an email that says, Bob, I took your settings and it was a little too bright, so I adjusted my aperture from 5.6 to 8 and I got the shot. Okay? It's up to you to understand exposure, but it's up to me to give you a jump-off point, right? This is where you start. Your beginning shutter speed is 1/125th of a second. I stay in that range because some cameras don't have a fast enough shutter speed. Some of the Canon 5D Mark IIs only go to 1/160th. So if you go beyond that shutter speed, you'll get a black line in the frame. So at 1/125th, everybody can work with me without having that happen to them. Aperture of 5.6 is your starting aperture. If you have to go up to 8 or 11 on a bright sunny day, don't call me. Do it. Just go do it and see what you get. That's the beauty of digital, right? You can see what you're getting on the back of your camera. When you're outside, which I try to underexpose by about 2/3 of a stop to a stop of light. And that darkens the background a bit and gives you a little more contrast and saturation in your photo. Okay? Your ISO is 200. That's my base ISO for my camera, so you can work off that. If it's too bright, drop your ISO to 100 and try that. Okay? You have to know and understand the exposure triangle, right? The aperture, shutter, and ISO. Set your white balance to daylight or direct sunlight. You can take a custom white balance if you know how, right? Custom white balance is very difficult to teach in a large group setting, but if you know how to do it or you want to take a custom, go right ahead. Okay? Otherwise, set your white balance to daylight or direct sunlight and you'll get really good results pretty much out of the gate. Literally, you'd be like, wow, that's awesome. That's nearly perfect. Turn off your continuous frame rate. Please, when we go out to shoot, this is a shooting event. We'll be in Herald Square in about 35 to 40 minutes. And if you're a sports shooter and you always hold your shutter release down, you rattle off 10 shots at once, like, brrr, right? Because that football player or lacrosse player is running across and you want to capture that. Please turn that off because you'll blow up one of my flashes. And I'd rather not have that happen, okay? Okay, so I took this in Maryland last Sunday. And we used the key light off to the right to her, the key light on her face off to her right is a Rogue Flashbender XL Pro with the strip panel on it. So it turned it into a strip softbox. So I was able to control my light in a line like this. I got a little spill on the back of that garage door, which I kind of liked. That was a kind of a happy after effect, right? Happy accident. Off to the left is 2 large Flashbenders that I rolled up into my own strip box, made my own strip box with it, put it on an SB800 and flashed her left side to give her some separation from the background. And that gave me some hair, her right elbow and down on her legs, okay? And here's my setup. So get outside and go shoot in places you normally might not want to shoot or might not think of shooting. We're in a parking garage in Rockville, Maryland. So we rolled into this parking garage. And, it was traffic, it was a Sunday, and there was a lot of people around, and it was great. We just kind of made some noise and had some fun. All right, 2 speed lights and a great group of people and a great gal, right? But the strip softbox on the right has that narrow beam of light that's really controllable. You can do a lot with it. Okay, I have a really great tip for you guys if you own Rogue Flashbenders. I'm going to go over and pull the one out over here. When you attach your Flashbender to your flash, turn your flash around. Okay, turn it so you see the mechanicals. What happens is if you turn your flash this way and you put the bender on, its own weight is going to want to force your flash to fall forward. Because the larger Flashbenders are they're fairly significant in weight. If you turn this around and put it on this way so it faces the back of the flash, not only will the flash not want to fall forward, guess what you can do? You have all the controls of your flash right here. So when you raise your flash, To do your key light, you don't have to go around like this and try and find out what you're looking for. All your controls are right here. And I can adjust my bender. I can do whatever I want right here. Okay, so put it on backwards. And if you can, put every modifier that you have on backwards so you can see the mechanicals of the flash. Right, it's a great tip. That tip alone was worth the price of admission. There we go. Okay. Let's get this out of the way really quickly. Whoops. Okay. You can bend your flash bender to your need. You can use a diffuser panel or not. I really like the flash bender without the diffusion panel. I always bend them forward because it looks like the light out of it looks very similar to a beauty dish. Y'all know what a beauty dish is? Soft light reflector? Raise your hand if you do. Raise your hand if you don't. Okay, well, more people know. A beauty dish is like a big salad bowl. And you put it over your light source and there's a plate in front of it. And when the light hits that plate, the light waves get jumbled up and they come out of the dish like this, and the light is just amazing. You can zoom your flash head. I've had this question come up often. You can zoom your flash head from the wide setting to the narrow setting. It gives you a different lighting look, gives you a different way to send your light out of your modifier. I leave most of my flashes in the default setting of 17 or 24 millimeter. I like to get light all over the place. Okay, just get light all over the place. And then control it from there. Okay, so I shot this on, I have to remember what night this is, wait a minute. This was on Friday night in Pewaukee, Wisconsin. I ran a workshop this past Friday, and I really liked this shot. We used the extra large Rogue flash bender, the XL Pro. All right, I swapped it to black and white, shot this gal against a black backdrop. All right, I really love this shot. You guys? Looks nice, doesn't it? Yeah. Looks great. All right, single light source, right? Looks like a beauty dish. You have that beautiful soft shadow under her nose, under her chin, right? Get some shadows underneath her eyelashes, just a nice, cool light. Here's how we shot it. So I'm in this conference room, and where's my light? It's high and above. See that? Start working your light high and above. Okay, take your light from that traditional 45 by 45 portrait, start working it high and above, and you'll get a different lighting look to add to your repertoire. Because that's what you want to do. You want to get as much out of one light source that you can. Okay, so for our small flashes today, when we shoot small flashes, we'll be working in manual mode, not TTL, manual only. I set all my flashes to manual mode. When you do that, you turn your flash into a strobe light. All right, every flash out of it is the same output, the same all the time until you kill the batteries. I'm not shooting in TTL today. A couple reasons for that is we have a lot of different cameras and different camera platforms. So the Pocket Wizard will allow you to shoot my Nikon flashes with a Canon camera or a Pentax, Sony, Olympus, doesn't matter. All right, the radio trigger is the great equalizer here. It doesn't matter what camera you have, put the trigger on, trigger over there, it'll just work. I usually set my key light or my main light at half power and then adjust shutter, aperture, ISO, or flash output. I shot a little kid a few weeks ago. I don't normally do kids, and it was kind of a surprise that a 2-year-old came in the door when the guy told me that his daughter was 6. So he came in with his family, and it was him and his wife and somebody, their au pair. It's like, okay. And then he rolls in with a 2-year-old, and I'm looking around the corner looking for the 6-year-old, wondering where the 6-year-old is, because I don't shoot 2-year-olds. Because after the first 5 shots, all she did was run around circles, which is really unpleasant. But I wound up taking her outside using a lot of ambient light, okay? And I wanted to shoot at a wide open aperture because I wanted that soft depth of field behind her. So I shot an aperture of, I think, about 3.2. And I dropped my flash power down to about 1/8. And the flash power on the external flash, the off-camera flash, just acted as a touch of fill light, and that's it. So I set my shutter, my ISO, and my aperture to what I wanted, and then I adjusted flash power down, just to give me a touch of fill light. That's all that I wanted. And it worked. They came out great. She was a little more comfortable outside, but she was a nightmare inside. So if you shoot kids, I have the utmost respect for you because it is a tough racket. It's a tough job. Okay, I'm going to show you TTL to manual because I had this come up too. If you're a Canon shooter, you got it. It's easy. You hit the set button and you hit the mode button. I'm sorry, hit the mode button and you go from ETTL to M for manual and you're done. Okay? If you're a Nikon shooter, you have like 5 choices to go through. You have TTL BL, TTL, RPT, AA, GN, and manual. Right? I know what all those mean, or almost all of those. I know what GN means. And I know what TTL means. The other 2 I can't tell you. But I don't use them, so it doesn't really bother me. So I go from TTL to manual. And there's a fraction there, and it's 1/2, and that's half power. All right? Think of it as a measuring cup. Right? 1/1 is full power, 1/2, your measuring cup is half full, half power, quarter, eighth, all the way down. It's a simple way to see it in your mind. Okay, we're going to shoot on location today, so I'm a big stickler about sharing. I am absolutely that kindergarten teacher that you hated. Without a doubt, I am that bad teacher or that good teacher that you just did not get along with. All right? And I do that because I want everybody to have the right experience. I want everybody to get their shots. So with so many of us, we're going to limit our shots to 5 frames per session with the model. So when you come in, it's your time to shoot. You take 5 frames and you move along. You pass the pocket wizard to the next person. They take 5 frames and you move along. If there's enough time, you can cycle back through again. All right? If I find that we're going really quickly, we can push that to 8 frames or 10 frames. Okay? But initially, out of the gate, we'll start with 5. Because I'm the only guy setting up the light, and there's 60 people here, and so you need to break off into 3 groups. 2 groups will have to wait a few minutes, right? So we get everything set up and running. Please share the responsibilities, and especially with traffic control. If we're on the sidewalk or we'll be in Herald Square, we don't want to disrupt any of the traffic, right? It's a beautiful day. People have spring fever. They all want to get out of the house and or the apartment or whatever, so there's going to be a lot of people out today. So if you find that we're blocking traffic, just help other people move out of the way to get that traffic moving, okay? Get that foot traffic by. Nothing will draw authorities faster than us blocking traffic, and we don't want to do that. Only 1 person shoots at a time. This is also so the model knows where to look. If Kevin is there shooting, right? You want your time with the model, right? And then if Joey comes in, he gets his time with the model. But if Joey's shooting and Kevin jumps over and says, oh my God, I got to get this shot, he's going to ruin Joey's time. And that's not right. It's not fair to Joey. Okay? So I'm all about being fair, but I'm also about sharing everything. So let's just go out and have some fun. Okay? Shoot the behind the scenes shot. Get your camera, stand back a few feet, zoom out, take a shot of what we're doing, right? So and I have a whole folder of behind the scenes shots of how I set these things up. Sometimes I forget, a lot of times I forget. But when you're waiting for your turn to shoot, take a behind the scenes shot so you know what's going on and you can go back later and figure it out, okay? With a folder of those, I always know what's going on. Sometimes always. Okay, so this is the Westcott Rapid Box. I shot this up in Cambridge. I was up there for a workshop a few weeks ago, and after the workshop was over, I met this gal and we took a few quick test shots. I had just gotten the unit, so I wanted to get some shoot time with it. This is a really simple 1 light setup and a really nasty, grungy location. Okay, that nasty, grungy location makes things interesting, doesn't it? You're thinking, where is that? I can tell you exactly where it is. It's 105 First Avenue, I think it is. And we're behind an old abandoned mattress store. And we just met right there, and she jumped in for a few frames, and we were done. And here's my behind the scenes shot. And that's it. It's broad daylight. It's about 4 o'clock in the afternoon. See how bright the sun is in the back? We went into the shade where I can get a decent exposure. Okay? The Rapid Box gave me some great light. And if we go back to the shot, it gave me a lot of light. It covered her, just about her entire body. There was a lot of light coming out of that Rapid Box. All right, so take the behind the scenes so you know later what's going on. I set my light over to her left, and I worked around her. And I got different lighting looks by working around her and having her move her location. Use the shade, all right? You can use the sun, but also use the shade because it's easier. Especially if you're just starting out. Who's just starting out in small flash photography? Okay, who's a pro or semi-pro or going pro? Anybody? Who's got some experience? Who's been with me before? We have a lot of repeat customers. Good, 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 good. If I don't remember your name, I apologize. Find a shady spot because it's easier. It's easier to expose in the shade, all right? You get great color, you get that hard sun out of the frame. I definitely recommend shooting in the sun, right? Put that sun behind your subject and get some nice hair, edge, and separation light, but it can be harder for you, especially if you're just starting out. Start out where it's easy, then work into the hard stuff, okay? When you're in the shady spot, set your exposure hopefully to around -2/3 or -1, because you'll darken the background, okay? And you will get some nice contrast and some color saturation, better color saturation. Adjust your exposure using aperture, shutter speed, ISO, or flash output. This goes back to the jump-off point. Use that jump-off point, 1/125th at 5.6, ISO 200, and then go from there. If it's too bright, adjust your aperture, adjust your shutter speed, okay? Make those adjustments, and then the more you do it, the more you'll figure it out. Okay, so we're using the California Sunbounce today. This is a great shot. This gal models a lot for me back home. So my key light is actually behind her, and it's a speed light that's behind her. She's not in the sun at all. I tried to make it appear as though she's in the sun, from that sun in the background, like the sun's coming over the building, but it's not. It's a speed light behind her head. In the upper left corner is an SB 900. Set the manual mode at half power, and I flashed behind her, and my California Sunbounce is right here. See it? And that light's going over her head, so I have a hair and separation light, hits the reflector, and comes back and gives me the key light, and I wound up with that out of the camera. All right? And it looks like the sun's coming over her head like it's coming over the building because that sun's in the background. Okay? Put your light somewhere you may not think of, and try using your key light as your backlight first. I think that came out great. That was a great day. We're in Norwalk, Connecticut, and she's really cool, and it was a fun time. Okay, this is a headshot I just did in Rockville, Maryland, prior to my workshop there, and I'm using the Westcott Rapid Box as my key and my California Sunbounce as a reflector. And here is the setup. This is basic over and under beauty or clamshell lighting. Okay, you have a key light high and above, you have a reflector down below, and you're getting nice shadow detail on the face, but a lot of reflected light back up again. It's one of my favorite ways to use small flashes, either with this or a shoot-through umbrella. It's just a great way to do it. It's simple, it's fast, and you get amazing results. This shot is unretouched. That's how it came out of my camera, just like that. I would probably pull a few of the hairs out from the left side of her eye, but other than that, I've done nothing to it. And that light is incredible. Have fun. Have fun and relax. It's photography. Let's have some fun, right? If you mess it up, if you screw it up, what do? Do it over? No. Who said delete it? Who said delete it? Okay, who said do it over? Shoot it over. Okay, what if you do your job, right? And you come home and you realize that because the sun was so bright, you have a couple frames that are overexposed. If I brought the raw file into Lightroom from this shot, her face is red. There's detail, it's gone. But I don't care. That's a fun shot, isn't it? You can say it is, go right ahead. I'll let you. That's a fun shot. That's my friend Bernadette. That was on the High Line. Who was on the High Line with me? High Line was great, wasn't it? She was fantastic, right? So if you overexpose a shot and you can't bring it back, what do you do to it? Black and white. Who said that? Oh, that's right. That is right. You go to black and white and you tell your client it's the best shot you ever saw. And if they still don't like it, you add grain to it. And then it's the best antique-looking shot you ever saw. All right, so have some fun. Have fun, relax, enjoy, help others. Please network. You're in a room full of photographers, right? If you're a wedding photographer, you can probably find an assistant or second shooter. If you're a portrait photographer, you're looking for an assistant. You're anybody, just want to network and have a good time. Network, talk, chat it up, okay? And please share some of your finished images with the models. One of the models, her name is Rochelle. She is a Ford model. She's a professional. But she will work for you outside of the agency. They're allowed to do that. And she's fabulous, and they will work with you, okay? They are, like we are, they are capitalists, so they will work for money, as opposed to not. But we have three great gals coming in, exchange emails, phone numbers, get their cards if they have them, and you've just got 3 people that you can network and work with right away, okay? And I do that because everybody should be sharing. Share everything, right? Share all your knowledge, share everything that you know about photography or whatever, and get that knowledge out there.
For more information, please visit us online, give us a call, or stop by our New York City Superstore. You can also connect with us on the web.